What is success? It's a question that often seems to have an obvious answer. Society teaches us from an early age that success means external achievements, money, status, power, and prestige. But how many people, even with these trophies in hand, genuinely feel fulfilled? How many of them, upon reaching the top, find themselves feeling empty, sensing that something's missing? Here, we aim to explore a deeper definition of success, one that goes beyond appearances and others' expectations. It's about discovering a type of success grounded in what truly matters: authenticity, courage, and meaningful connections. This journey begins with self-knowledge and a willingness to look inward, rather than seeking answers only outside ourselves. And this is where the teachings of Brené Brown come in, a researcher who has revolutionized how we understand vulnerability, belonging, and courage. The concept is simple but transformative. What if true success wasn't about reaching a finish line, but rather about how we live our journey? What if, instead of accumulating external achievements, we focused on cultivating a more genuine version of ourselves, where our feelings and experiences align with our values? This is the kind of success that's often overlooked but can ultimately bring an unparalleled sense of purpose and fulfillment. In the coming chapters, we'll explore how the principles Brené Brown advocates can help each of us build this new vision of success. From finding the courage to embrace vulnerability to forming genuine connections that enrich our journey, we'll see how these ideas guide us toward a path where success becomes an extension of who we truly are. When we think of success, it's natural to associate it with achievements everyone can see: promotions, awards, goals met. But this often superficial view overlooks the reality that the most meaningful success is the one aligned with our values and who we truly are. Brené Brown offers a courageous and authentic vision of success, one based not on appearances, but on feeling at peace with our choices and living a life that reflects our true self. This concept of authentic success first requires a willingness to connect with our vulnerability. Through vulnerability, we can understand our real desires, even if that means questioning what society has taught us about being successful. According to Brown, this journey demands courage, as we're so accustomed to hiding our insecurities and projecting an image of perfection that many of us have lost touch with what truly matters. Authentic success isn't something achieved overnight. It's built through a series of choices we make every day. It's a success that grows when we stop worrying about what others think and focus on what we know, deep down, to be meaningful to us. Authenticity requires us to be honest about who we are, even if that means embracing our imperfections. Only then can we reach a success that truly resonates with us. How does this apply in everyday life? Think, for instance, about work situations where you feel pressured to act in ways that don't align with your values just to impress others or to fit in. Or moments in social circles where you realize you're not being yourself just to maintain acceptance. When you let go of these behaviors and stay true to who you really are, you start to build a foundation of authenticity that fuels this deeper kind of success. It's a process that demands the courage to accept our vulnerability, but it can free us from external expectations and connect us to a genuine purpose. The rewards of this journey aren't just tangible achievements. Many people report that, in pursuing this authentic success, they experience an inner peace, a sense of satisfaction, and a connection to what truly matters. Rather than living to meet others' expectations, they follow their own path. This is why Brené Brown's vision of success isn't just about professional accomplishments or financial goals, but about a way of being that allows for a more meaningful and connected life. Seeking authentic success is, above all, a journey of self-discovery. It's learning to distinguish between what society values and what truly brings meaning and purpose to our lives. We'll continue to explore this path, starting with one of the most fundamental and transformative elements of this journey: vulnerability. The word vulnerability often carries a weight, typically associated with weakness or exposure to risk. Yet, for Brené Brown, vulnerability is quite the opposite. It's the foundation of true courage and one of the keys to living fully and authentically. In the context of success, vulnerability is no longer something to avoid. It becomes a powerful tool for connection and growth. When we talk about vulnerability, we're referring to the willingness to be real, to open up even when there's a chance of being judged or misunderstood. For Brown, this courage to face uncertainty and accept one's own imperfections is essential to achieving a success that isn't defined by others' opinions, but by personal satisfaction. By embracing our vulnerability, we make room for deeper relationships and richer experiences. Imagine, for example, someone in a leadership role. This person may be accustomed to showing confidence and authority, but vulnerability requires them to recognize their limitations and admit when they don't know something. Doing so fosters a more collaborative, trusting environment where people feel comfortable sharing ideas and taking risks. Brené Brown describes this attitude as an act of courage because being vulnerable doesn't mean being passive. It means being open to continuous learning and growth. Vulnerability is also relevant in personal life. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable with friends or family, you show enough trust in them to share your insecurities and fears. This openness strengthens connections, as others feel they can be just as authentic with you. Vulnerability, then, isn't just an individual act, but an invitation for others to feel safe being themselves with you. Brown also explains that vulnerability helps us overcome the fear of failure and judgment. Many times, we hold back from pursuing our dreams out of fear we're not good enough or won't be accepted. However, when we embrace vulnerability, we accept that mistakes are part of the process and that setbacks don't define our abilities. They're natural steps toward growth. Instead of hiding our flaws, recognizing and learning from them allows us to achieve a truer, more lasting success. One of Brown's suggested practices for embracing vulnerability daily is to engage in honest conversations where you express your opinions and feelings without fearing being misunderstood. While challenging, this simple act builds trust and reminds us that a person's worth goes far beyond their achievements or mistakes. This kind of transparent communication has the potential to create strong bonds and open doors to new opportunities, whether in professional projects or personal life. Vulnerability, then, is essential to building authentic success, one based on a true relationship with yourself and with others. For Brown, those who embrace vulnerability gain a unique freedom, the freedom to follow their path without hiding who they really are. Next, we'll expand on this idea by exploring how the courage to be imperfect, a second key to genuine success, complements the power of vulnerability. In a culture that often values perfection, accepting that we're imperfect can feel like a revolutionary act. For Brené Brown, the courage to be imperfect is one of the foundations for achieving genuine success. This concept involves self-compassion and embracing our flaws as part of the journey, helping us build a lighter and more authentic life. The courage to be imperfect is a practice that first requires a realistic view of ourselves. Instead of buying into the illusion that we'll only be accepted or successful if we're flawless, Brown invites us to embrace our shortcomings, recognizing they don't make us any less deserving of success. By acknowledging our imperfections, we stop fearing vulnerability and understand it as a natural part of growth. Self-compassion is essential in this journey. Brown explains that without it, we become our own harshest critics, stalling our progress. By treating ourselves kindly, we turn mistakes into learning opportunities, not reasons to give up. After all, no one gets it right every time, and the strength to improve comes from accepting this truth. Embracing imperfection allows us to take on new challenges, knowing that success isn't about perfection but about continuing to try, even when we stumble. To visualize the impact of self-compassion, imagine someone who, after making a mistake in an important presentation, feels like they've compromised their career. Rather than relentlessly criticizing themselves, they could learn from the experience, identify areas for improvement, and grow stronger for the next opportunity. Brown emphasizes that this is an act of courage, admitting we aren't infallible and moving forward anyway. This perspective leads to a much healthier and more realistic approach to success. In practice, cultivating the courage to be imperfect opens doors to new experiences and relationships. People who accept their own flaws are more understanding of others' imperfections, becoming less judgmental and more empathetic. In the workplace, this mindset fosters a climate of trust where team members feel comfortable sharing ideas and seeking solutions without fear of mistakes. By embracing our own imperfections, we also become more likely to form true and meaningful connections with others. Brown emphasizes that accepting imperfection doesn't mean settling for mediocrity. It's about authenticity. When we accept who we are, including our limitations, we take an essential step toward authentic success, grounded in what's real and sustainable. The courage to be imperfect builds resilience because we understand that each misstep is just part of the journey, not the end of it. With this solid foundation of self-compassion and acceptance, we now move on to the next essential element: true connections. After all, authentic success isn't just about the individual, but extends to the meaningful relationships we build along the way. Authentic success, as Brené Brown advocates, is not just a personal achievement. It's something that also manifests through the relationships we build. After all, we're social beings, and the true sense of fulfillment is often linked to the depth of our connections. However, building genuine bonds requires a willingness to be vulnerable and the courage to share our true selves with others. Brown explains that true connections begin when we're brave enough to show who we really are, setting aside the mask of perfection and accepting the possibility of being rejected or misunderstood. This openness is essential for success, as it fosters relationships based on trust and mutual understanding. Rather than relationships grounded in appearances or convenience, cultivating authentic connections means forming bonds that enrich our lives and support us through challenges. In professional settings, the ability to form true connections can transform team or business dynamics. Imagine a leader who isn't afraid to show vulnerability and, instead of maintaining an infallible facade, acknowledges their limitations and challenges. This kind of leader encourages the team to do the same, creating an environment where everyone feels comfortable collaborating without fear of judgment. Brown suggests that vulnerability in this context is a bridge to stronger trust and cooperation that extends beyond mere professional interests. This willingness to be genuine also impacts our personal relationships. Often, we seek approval and connection in superficial ways, avoiding subjects that reveal our insecurities. Yet by doing so, we miss the chance to create true bonds, as we're not presenting our whole selves. Brown points out that when we share our deeper experiences, even those we find challenging, we give others the opportunity to relate, strengthening empathy and a sense of belonging. Moreover, nurturing these true connections brings direct benefits to mental and emotional health. Studies show that the support from authentic relationships can help reduce stress and increase overall well-being. People who feel supported by genuine connections are better equipped to face adversity and maintain a positive outlook on life. This is a vital aspect of authentic success, a journey that we don't walk alone, but alongside those who accept us and encourage us to be our true selves. Brown suggests a practical way to build these connections through open and honest communication. Rather than hiding feelings or opinions to avoid conflict, she encourages us to be clear about our boundaries and vulnerabilities. This might mean, for example, admitting when we're overwhelmed, asking for help in tough times, or simply expressing gratitude and support to those in our lives. Small acts of authenticity like these strengthen our bonds and create a solid, reliable support network. Ultimately, it's worth remembering that authenticity in our connections helps us grow and develop a stronger emotional foundation. True success isn't only about what we achieve, but also about who joins us along the way. With authentic bonds, we feel encouraged to tackle bigger challenges, knowing we have people we can count on. These genuine connections enable us to reach a kind of success that doesn't falter in the face of difficulties or external criticism, but instead grows and matures over time. With this strong foundation of meaningful relationships, we can now explore how to transform fear into courage as we pursue an authentic and transformative path to success. Fear is one of the most human and universal emotions. It arises when we face the unknown or the possibility of failure. However, for Brené Brown, fear isn't something to simply avoid. It's a door that, once crossed, can lead us to transformative experiences. The key lies in turning fear into courage, letting it propel us forward rather than paralyze us. For Brown, courage is a conscious act of facing discomfort and moving forward, even without guarantees of success. She explains that true courage isn't the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. Often, by avoiding fear, we limit our potential and miss out on opportunities for personal and professional growth. Thus, embracing fear and choosing to confront it is a foundational step toward genuine success, as it opens us to new experiences and learning. Transforming fear into courage can start with small steps. Imagine you have an idea for a project at work, but fear it might be criticized. Instead of letting that fear block your initiative, you can share the idea with a trusted colleague and ask for initial feedback. This approach allows you to face fear gradually, turning a moment of insecurity into an opportunity for growth. Brown also suggests we can reframe how we view fear. Instead of seeing it as a sign of weakness, we should recognize it as proof that we're stepping into the unknown, a clear signal of growth. By adopting this perspective, we can transform fear into a force that drives us to act with greater authenticity and determination. In the end, this cultivated courage prepares us to live more fully and aligned with our values, moving toward authentic success without allowing fear to stand in our way. Now, let's explore how authenticity and integrity complete this journey, enabling us to achieve a truly meaningful success. Authenticity is one of the most powerful principles on the path to genuine success, and for Brené Brown, living authentically means having the courage to be ourselves, even when that may not sit well with everyone. To Brown, integrity is a fundamental value that keeps us aligned with our principles, even in the face of external pressures. In other words, authenticity and integrity not only allow us to stay true to what we believe in, but also give us the assurance that we are building something real and lasting. What does this look like in practice? Being authentic means making choices that reflect our values, regardless of others' expectations or the need to gain approval. Many of us, however, fall into the trap of adapting our behavior to seek validation, especially in competitive environments or under pressure to stand out. But Brown suggests that living in alignment with who we truly are and what we believe brings a satisfaction that no external approval can match. Integrity, in this sense, is what sustains authenticity. It's what helps us uphold our values even when taking an easier or more advantageous path might tempt us. Imagine being invited to join a project that doesn't align with your principles or compromises the ethics of your work. Acting with integrity means having the courage to say no, even if this choice seems risky in the short term. Brown emphasizes that, over time, these decisions shape a path of solid, respected success because they are grounded in honesty and respect for one's own values. Brown argues that this authenticity offers a unique freedom, the freedom to build a genuine success where we don't have to pretend or manipulate to get what we want. It's a freedom that allows us to grow without compromising who we are. By developing this stance, we become able to face challenges with a confidence that comes from the peace of knowing we stand by our choices. In the end, authenticity and integrity serve as essential guides toward a success that truly matters. This approach opens doors to a kind of fulfillment that can't easily be shaken by criticism or external changes, as it's built from the inside out. Now, let's look at how this authentic success, grounded in real values, can positively impact our quality of life and relationships, providing a lasting sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. Pursuing success aligned with our values brings rewards that go beyond material achievements. Brené Brown argues that authentic success directly impacts quality of life by strengthening emotional well-being, increasing satisfaction, and fostering a sense of fulfillment. This is the kind of success that truly fills us up, as it arises from an honest connection with ourselves and others. When we adjust our concept of success to reflect what genuinely matters, we experience a shift across various areas of life. First, there's a considerable reduction in stress. Constantly seeking approval or chasing an ideal of perfection creates an intense emotional burden that often distances us from peace and happiness. Brown explains that by aiming for a more authentic success, we free ourselves from these pressures, and as a result, we live with greater ease and balance. Additionally, authentic success strengthens personal relationships. When we are genuine in our connections, we're more likely to attract people who share our values and who genuinely support us. This emotional support base offers us the security to face life's ups and downs and contributes to a sense of belonging, one of the most essential elements for human well-being. Brené Brown emphasizes that in these true bonds, we find the strength to keep moving forward, knowing we have people to lean on in difficult moments. Another significant benefit of this path to success is clarity of purpose. Many professionals and leaders who seek success rooted in authenticity report a shift in their sense of fulfillment. By redirecting their choices towards something that resonates with their purpose, they experience a direct impact on motivation and energy. This purpose becomes a powerful motivator, providing a clear reason to persist even in the face of challenges. Brown states that living an authentic, values-driven life increases our sense of gratitude as we start to appreciate experiences and people more, rather than focusing solely on achievements. This gratitude connects us to the present and to what we truly have, allowing us to enjoy the journey itself and feel fulfilled with each step along the way. In the end, by rethinking what success means and seeking a more authentic path, we create a life that, while it may be imperfect, is rich and meaningful. This kind of success doesn't crumble in the face of criticism or failure, as it is sustained by who we truly are and by the relationships we cultivate. We've reached the end of this journey of self-discovery and reflection on authentic success. Together, we explored Brené Brown's insights on vulnerability, authenticity, courage, and true connections, and how these principles can profoundly transform our path to a fulfilling life. By challenging traditional notions of success, we've seen that what truly matters isn't superficial achievement, but how we live and connect with others. Brené Brown invites us to reflect on the true purpose of our pursuit of success. More than accumulating wealth or recognition, she shows us that genuine success lies in living according to our values, embracing our imperfections, and building authentic connections. This transformation requires courage to look within, to face fear, and to embrace vulnerability as a tool for growth. Now, the choice is yours. How can you apply these insights to your life? Perhaps it's time to realign your priorities, seek deeper connections, or allow yourself to be more authentic in your actions. The beauty of this path is that it can start with small steps, but the changes it brings are lasting and transformative. If this content inspired you to rethink your journey toward a more authentic success, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps spread this message to more people. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming videos with reflections and tips for a more fulfilling, connected life. Share this video with anyone else who's searching for true purpose and more meaningful relationships. Let's journey together toward a success that truly matters. May this journey be an invitation for you to build a success that resonates with who you truly are. As Brené Brown suggests, the greatest act of courage is staying true to yourself and living in harmony with what truly matters. This is the real path to a life of fulfillment, meaning, and authentic success.